using Horos or?
No, that was the struggle I had to transfer some of the cases to the Horos. I wish I had used our own, we have a study share. Probably I should have used that, but yeah, I just happened to download all these things and took a while. But this is, let me see. So this is a 59-year-old with history of recent onset of ascites, esophageal varices, and hepatic encephalopathy, and it's a kind of an acute onset. And they got a CT. I don't have the CT with me. It's an outside study. But on CT, they were said that it was just hepatic cirrhosis. And so they got an MRI since somebody called it as a hepatic cirrhosis. And there were all these geographic bright areas in the liver and also a filling defect in the IVC over here on this T2-weighted imaging. And as we go down, we can see some of all these geographic areas and this filling defect in the IVC. And on the post-contrast imaging, there are all these, this is the pre-contrast T1, which shows the decreased signal. And on the post-contrast imaging, all these correspond to, let me see, which one is that? So these are all the perfusion defects, which we're not enhancing. And let me go down to the next phase. Yeah, so these are all the perfusion defects, infarcts from the Budd-Chiari syndrome, and we don't see any hepatic veins. There is this thrombus in the IVCVC, but we don't see any hepatic veins. We presume that those are also thrombosed, and some of them show filling defects. And so this is an infarct from Budd-Chiari syndrome. And and the patient has no other prothrombotic issues. And but when we looked at the MR, the in and out of phase imaging, on the out of phase imaging, we didn't see much other than the decreased T1 signal corresponding to the infarcts. And
I thought you were going to say this was actually an AML in the IVC. Like we all think AML.
I wish I had known the theme. Yeah, but when we went to the in-phase imaging, we see the drop in signal in the kidneys on both sides. And that's pretty unique to one entity where we have a thrombotic tendencies and a drop in signal in the renal cortex, which can be seen with sickle cell and other hemolytic syndromes. But the combination of the thrombosis and this, we call it as a paroxysmal nocturnal hemoglobinuria. And this is what it turned out to be, and the patient subsequently went to transplant. It's a complement-mediated hemolysis. And so these patients have, the transplant surgeons are hesitant to do transplants in these patients because there is a chance of recurrence. But this patient ultimately went for transplant.
Very cool. I didn't know about this thrombotic aspect of PNH. It's something about the hematologic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
probably as much as we need.
Yeah, you can have venous thrombi, and you can have thrombi in the hepatic veins and IVC as well, which can result in Budd-Chiari.